going to show you the markings that you'll need to know on an all-weather track to make sure that you can complete the intervals that you're assigned for various workouts. So this video is not going to be helpful for hurdlers or steeplechasers. All right, so I'm just going to go over some really basic stuff. I'm using the UC Davis Toomey Field track because it has a very good view from Google Maps. All right, so the start line. The start line for a track is always going to be the common finish line. So this is the common finish line. This is also called the start line, even though this is the start of only, I'm trying to think off the top, I have like 4 events. But this is where you would, if someone says like, hey, let's go start the interval, you're gonna start at this line. This is what's called a waterfall. A waterfall start is used for some of the longer races where the specific start, like accuracy, is not super important, like the 1600 meters, the 10,000 meters, the 3200 meters. And this solid line is the finish line for every race, except maybe one. All right. You're going to know that this is the start line, and this is the common finish line because there's going to be numbers right here. It's going to be a solid white line, and it's going to be at the end of one of the straight sections, and it's going to be right before a turn. So if you are assigned something like 400-meter intervals, then you're going to start here, and then you're going to finish here. If you're running and lanes 1 and 2 are full of maybe faster runners, or some team is working out there, you can always do your short intervals in some of the outside lanes. Just remember, back to geometry, right? The bigger a circle is, the larger the circumference is. Similarly, after lane 1, each of these lanes is longer than 400 meters. So if you're going to do 400-meter intervals in lane 3, then what you'll do is you'll just start all of your intervals right here. So there's going to be, for each lane, you're going to have a staggered start. So in the 400 meters, if you're in lane 3, you start up here. If you're in lane 2, you start right here. If you're in lane 1, you start right here. And that's because obviously this lap is longer, so they have to start out farther. But remember, they'll all finish right here. So if you're going to do a 400-meter interval, you're not going to start in lanes 1 or 2. Then start right here, do your interval, run all the way around the track, and then you finish at the common finish line right here. All right, so that's 400 meters. One lap is 400 meters. If you're assigned 300-meter intervals, you're just going to pop on over here. You're going to have a solid white line. Either it's going to be here in the middle of the turn, or it's going to be up a little bit farther. Some tracks are different, but you're going to look for the solid line that's going to be somewhere over here. It's going to be in between a yellow arrow pointing this direction, and then there's actually under the tree coverage, you can't see here, but there's another yellow arrow right around here. As you can see, they're all over here. So the start of 300-meter intervals are going to be in between these 2 yellow arrows at a solid white line. And again, if you can't be in lane 1, there are all these staggered white lines. This is to start a race in one of these lanes. So if you're going to do lane 3, then you can just start here, and then you'll finish at the same common finish line. If you're assigned 200-meter intervals, you will start at the 200-meter interval start line, because the 200-meter race starts here. And it's going to have lane numbers and a solid white line for each of the lanes. And if you're running 200 meters, you're going to go all the way around here, and then you're going to all finish at the exact same line, which is the common finish line. So that's 200 meters. If you're doing 100-meter intervals, then you will find a white line. You're going to have 2 major white lines here. This is going to be the start of the 100 meters, and then the white line that's farther back is going to be the start of the 110-meter hurdles. The way you can tell which one is the 100 meters is that it's going to be the white line that is closest to the yellow triangles with lane numbers. You can also tell because if there is a white line behind it, then it's going to be the 110-meter hurdles. This track also happens to have like an extra white line back here, but that's unhelpful and meaningless. And again, every interval is going to finish at this common finish line. All right, I hope that was helpful.